Radio Bypass, bringing you rock and roll music that deserves to be heard. Discover new bands. Here's some old favorites on Radio Bypass.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Radio Bypass. Today we're talking about Tesla. They have spent 4 decades proving why they're one of rock's most respected bands, combining incredible musicianship with songs that have stood the test of time. Now they're back with a brand new release called Homage, arriving in just a couple of days from the day we're recording this, July 17th. And as if that wasn't enough, July 17th also marks the opening night of Tesla's summer tour with Mötley Crüe and Extreme on the return of the Carnival of Sins Tour. And we are so lucky to be joined today by Tesla guitarist Dave Rude. Dave, thanks for joining us on Radio Bypass.
Dude, what's happening? Thank you so much for having me.
So glad to have you, and I really appreciate you fitting us in before hitting the road here for this big summer tour.
Oh, happy to be here, man. Yeah, I can't wait. Mötley Crüe, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, starting in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fly out in the morning, and then the show's Friday the 17th. First night of the tour. It's a long one. We go till almost October, man. So it's gonna be a good summer.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so happy for you guys.
Thanks.
And I'm also happy about the new record. And so when I first got word of this album coming out, I was surprised on a couple of fronts, I guess. One, because I know Brian was here not too terribly long ago, and he was talking about, all the work involved in creating a new album and all that. But of course, that was probably more thinking of, the songwriting as well as the recording. So doing covers eliminates at least one part of that.
Sure.
But the other thing that struck me about Homage, well, lots of things struck me, but one of the first things that struck me was that it's not the first journey into covering music that inspired the band, right? And for you, your very first studio project with Tesla was the Reel to Reel album, or albums, if you want to call it two, since there was 2 pieces to it, back in 2007. Yeah. So now you've been in the band almost 20 years. You're not really the new guy anymore, right? 20 years or 19 years is a good run.
That's
for
20.
20. Yeah. So most bands don't last 20 years, let alone, but so with this time span, one of the things that I thought of is, what was it like for you? Like how, since you started with covers and now we're doing this covers record, but it's over a 20-year span, how would you compare making Homage to making Reel to Reel?
Oh, yeah. Way different. Although 2 songs were exactly the same, because we actually went back to the same studio in Texas. It's called Sonic Ranch, and that's where we had recorded all the Reel to Reel albums. We did 2 of the songs on Homage there. We had a break in our tour earlier in the year, and we just flew the band out and cut 2 full songs there. And we cut the music video for I Love You there too. That's in the live room at Sonic Ranch. But so that one was pretty much the same. But the rest of the record was totally different because, it's sort of started out as really like a single. Last few years we've been doing like 1 song every year or so, and it's easier to fit that into the schedule without having to really affect the touring, and keeps things fresh for us, keeps fresh for the fans, but we don't have to take a year off or 6 months off to make a whole new original album, and so we were kind of just, well, maybe we do a cover song or 2, and for the next time we put out a single, and it's like, well, why don't we make 4 or 5 and we'll do like an EP and we'll sell a vinyl, and then recorded a couple more. Oh, well, I might as well make it a record now, and then Frontiers got involved. It was like, okay, now we can do this for real. So the first few songs, we were kind of recording in dressing rooms, before shows, because we all have mobile recording rigs, and I cut guitars on, I think, the Elvis song and the Queen song in like a mobile trailer, in like Iowa or something, like a year ago, before the show, just Brian's laptop and his Pro Tools set up, and I just recorded stuff there. And at that point, I think it was still kind of like, here's a couple singles, we'll see if they ever come out, So, and then it kept growing to like, okay, well, we got some more songs, sound check tomorrow. Oh, all right, cool. And then then it was like, okay, now we're gonna go to Texas, do those 2 songs. And then, okay, now it's a full album. So then we flew to Brian's new studio in upstate New York and recorded, the bulk of the album there in about a week. Like, I think we did like 8 songs, sort of top to bottom. And by that point, this is an album. It's being released. Here are the songs we're going to do, and this is the direction of the album and all that. So it went from kind of like sort of amorphous, and then all of a sudden it was like, here we go. This is our plan and our structure. So it was in that respect, it was a lot different.
Yeah.
But like I said, the 2 songs were done exactly the same. So little mix both.
I love that. And then, you mentioned like the Elvis song, for example, and that was one of the things I had noted. The reel to reel was, definitely all the classic rock that guys of our age grew up with, with the Deep Purple and the Black Sabbath and everything that was on that record, the Guess Who, etc. But this time, I feel like we're really kind of stretching to some perhaps lesser known artists for a lot of people that knew all those classic rock artists, like having the Sam Cooke song, James Brown. You might loosely know who these people are, but you might not really know the songs. And Elvis, kind of a daring choice, I think, for any singer to pick an Elvis song, right? So I was wondering, as you guys were doing this, was expanding beyond like the more straight ahead rock covers of the earlier release. Was that something that you kind of consciously wanted to do this time around, or did it just sort of fall into place?
No, yeah, you hit it on the head there. Yeah, we were definitely doing that on purpose because we've done tons of covers. I mean, throughout Tesla's career, obviously there's been a lot of covers, right? Sure. 2 of the band's biggest hits are covers. So there's a long history with that. And then since I joined the band, we did two full albums of full in your face, full stack Marshall, Les Paul, rock, guitar your face off kind of things. And we throw covers in the set, it's a very cover friendly environment for us, and we could have done another reel to reel volume 3, and it'd be fun, and people probably would like it because there's a lot of guitar and stuff. But we wanted to change it up a little bit, and so the direction of this is vocal based songs that really showcase Jeff's amazing voice, because he's one of the few guys from our sort of genre and era that really still has such an amazing voice. He's still just got this gift where he sings anything, and he gets better with age, if anything. It's really remarkable what a great vocalist he is. So we wanted to just showcase that, and in so doing also do stuff that's maybe a little less expected, because again, we've done the big guitar rock stuff already, a lot of it in terms of covers. So let's try something that you wouldn't expect to hear from Tesla, so something old. The base criteria was an older classic sort of standard song. Doesn't have to be a hit, but something along, nothing recent. So from an artist with an iconic singer, right, or just an iconic singer artist, and that resonated with us, but especially with Jeff. So Jeff picked a lot of the songs. He loves Etta James, he loves Sam Cooke, he loves all these great R&B and soul singers. He's got that element. Obviously he's got the rasp and the Steven Tyler vibe, but he has this real. If you ever hear him, just I'm lucky enough to be in a room with him all the time, and I just hear him sing. He'll just sing along to the radio, and it's wow. We're lucky to take it for granted because we're there all the time. But when most people sing, it doesn't have that resonance. You can hear his chest when you're just next to him in a room and he's singing. So it really adds a depth to anything he sings, and that's part of the soul thing that I think a lot of those great soul singers had that too. So we wanted to just set it up to really let JK shine and still make it Tesla. We Teslified everything, and there's a ton of guitars, but like you said, it's not UFO and Led Zeppelin covers. It's different stuff, and there's some rocks. I mean, we get Seger and Queen, and there's some rockin' stuff too. Yeah,
and Queen, I mean, that's a big one to tackle too. A lot of bands want to stay away from ever trying to cover a Queen song.
Yeah, I know, it's a dangerous territory, but it worked.
It was a ballsy move, yeah. But no, I love these selections. I was really, because I loved Reel to Reel. You know, I can remember a friend of mine and myself. Now, of course, Tesla has always been, ever since they came out, my second favorite band. Aerosmith will always be number one. Sorry, but
It's all good. I'll second that. I love Aerosmith.
Tesla right up there with them, and large part of that is Jeff's voice, right? I love his style, and so I remember when Reel to Reel came out. Me and a friend of mine were listening to it in the car because our cars still had CD players in those days. I missed that. And we were commenting, you know, listening to, as was the first disc, you know, as he's going, as the different songs are playing, that it was so cool because there was a lot of different styles, really, if you think about what was on that first disc. And he was that person, but also himself, like on each song. And there were such disparate songs. So, yeah, very impressive. And that's what I loved when I saw this song selection. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even imagine what that's going to be like. So anyway, that answers that question. And then on this album, we do have a new original. And this time it's Never Alone. And so I was also wondering, was that an important piece of this puzzle too? Like, was that something you guys really wanted to make sure you had an original included?
You know, it was sort of, I think, kind of a, I don't know, accident, but it was the icing on the cake. You know, like it was, like you said in the beginning, I can't remember if we were recording it, but like, you know, taking out the writing part of making an album makes it a lot easier, right? And, you know, writing is super fun, so it kind of sucks when you know, like it's not like, oh, thank God we don't have to write. It's not like I really wish we could, but you know, we've all said it in interviews, like it's for us to make a full original album, we'd have to take a lot of time off the road, and that's, you know, that's time that people can't come see the band, and that we're not working, that our crew's not working. At this point in our career, it's better for us to just be doing shows. So if we can also, because there's no money in recorded stuff anymore, like you don't make money from records, so then, and you know, and we're an older, like a established sort of classic band with a long, you know, list of hits that you have to play. So no matter what, you know, we could make the next Black album or Appetite for Destruction, and we would only be able to fit one or two songs in anyways. So, you know, because we have to play all these older hits, which is amazing. We're over the moon to be able to do that. So it's a great place to be. It's awesome. But it just makes it even less of a incentive to like, let's stop everything for 6 months and put out a brand new album, put all this work into it. So like I said, the recording pretty easy, especially because like me and Brian, we all each have our mobile recording rig. Frank has a studio in his house too. It's easy to get stuff done. I mean, I did like 3 of these songs in like 2 hours in Frank's hotel room in Las Vegas. You know, like wow. It's easy. Like once you know what to do, I mean, there's challenges, but we love to do this, so it's fun. Like, okay, get in there, find the guitar part that works for this, and okay, maybe I'll try a Strat on this one. All right, cool, done. You know, and you kind of get to just dive into that sort of the player musician fun aspect of it, and the engineering and the making the sound cool. So we were, you know, able to just do that without having to write a whole album, but we do still love to have new songs and write new songs. And, you know, we always got ideas for new stuff. And so Brian had written, I think, the music for Never Alone. And then he maybe just showed it to Jeff, just like, hey, I wrote this, see what you think, like with no, you know, grand plans. And JK liked it and started and came up with some stuff for it and sort of a back and forth. And then, I think Frontiers, you know, said, hey, it'd be great if we could have like not a bonus track, but like one new original along with this, because it is a covers album, but it's, you know, it'd be great to have an original Tesla song also. So it was, you know, I've kind of gone on a circuitous route here, but like, you know, it's the album is always meant to be a covers album, and then sort of kind of 11th hour-ish, oh wow, now we got a brand new original too, so this works out great. Label was happy. We were happy to have a new song to throw on there with it, but it wasn't like the design. It was just like, oh, great, this happened to work out, cool. So we can throw that on there, and you know, it made a video and released it and all that, and you know, so that's always fun for us to have a new original song too.
Yeah, well, and for me, I know I'm, old school. I love new music from my favorite artists,
Me too.
and so like when Simplicity came out, I couldn't stop playing that because it's like, okay, not that I don't still love Mechanical Resonance and all that, but this is new. I'm just gonna listen to this a million times in a row, MP3 and whatever song mentioned Ted Nugent's "Free for All" and
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
That's right.
I mean, just what a great record, But but I know a lot of bands of our era here, feel like there are, like you said, so many songs we have to play that it does diminish the desire to create new music. But as long as you guys at least keep doing what you've been doing with the singles and stuff, that still makes me happy. Like All About Love, I was so excited when that came out. I like the different takes on the same song too. So anyway, because I know we got a little bit of a late start, let me just skip ahead a little bit with some of the stuff that I prepared for our conversation today and just see. Well, I guess we covered a fair amount of the stuff I was going to ask about the record up to this point. So let's talk a little bit about the tour, because that's coming up in just a couple of days from as we converse here today. Not sure if I'll get this out the same day as the album, but I'm going to try to have this out Friday also. But with the album coming out that same day, I think that's perfect timing, right? I mean, how often can you have an album come out and a tour like this start at the same exact time? So
very lucky.
That's pretty cool. So I think I can tell already just from when we talked about it earlier, but I'm going to ask you anyways, how are you feeling heading into this run with Mötley Crüe and Extreme?
Very, very excited, dude. I mean, I'm a huge Mötley Crüe fan. I grew up since I was 11 years old. It's like since I got Dr. Feelgood when I was in sixth grade. And I've loved Mötley ever since. So they're definitely one of my all-time fave bands. And we've gotten to play with them. Since I've been in the band, we've done a few. Obviously, Tessa played with them back in the day. I think on the Feelgood tour. But since I've been here, these 20 years, we've done a bunch of random shows through the years with them, supporting them, Europe, around the States. Never a full tour though, just like an off date here and there, or a festival. And it's always been so cool. Met all the guys, and I haven't seen them yet with John 5, but we've met John 5 when we were with Zombie. We did a bunch of dates in Europe before COVID, and Zombie and us were on the same bill like a bunch of times. So we would always hang with John 5 backstage, and got to know him a little bit. And he's an amazing guitar player and the nicest guy ever. So really excited for that. And man, so like I've been telling people, if I wasn't in Tesla, I would buy a ticket to this show, because it's like, dude, Extreme, Tesla, and Mötley Crüe, like, I'm there. Like I'm buying the VIP. I'm going early, man. Like I want to see every band. And so like it's great because I'll get to see, we'll be getting ready when Extreme's on, but I'm at least going to come catch a couple songs every night, because Nuno Betancourt's, obviously an incredible guitar player. Yes. And Extreme's just still such an amazing band. They're on fire right now. It's, we've done shows with them on Monsters of Rock cruise, and like festivals, and those guys are amazing. So that's going to be a great show. Then we can do our thing. And then I get to watch Mötley Crüe every night for 2 hours. Like, come on, this is outrageous. And it's like, it's the return of the Carnival of Sins, which I saw that original one, back in the day before I was in Tesla. I bought a ticket to the Oakland show, and I was there, and it was insane. Like all the crazy staging and production and all the like theatrical stuff. So I have no idea what they've got in store for this, return of, but I would imagine there's something cool. I mean, those guys could just all stand on stage with nothing and it would still be great. But the fact that they always do add all that theatricality, I'm sure it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be too. That's awesome. The only downside, I suppose, to a package like this is your band gets a little less time to perform. So I suppose that maybe is a little bit of a bummer. So it's probably a little tougher constructing that set list, I would imagine. Yeah,
but it's all right. We've done it before. We did like 3 years, for the bulk of about 3 years in a row. Pretty much all of our touring was opening for Def Leppard before COVID, and that was amazing. And that was an even shorter set. So, it's a trade-off. Like, of course we'd love to play our full set, but to do a, slightly short. I mean, we're doing almost an hour, and it's like just all hits. So it's a really good set. It's going to be great to reintroduce the band to the maybe whatever, you know, 10,000 people out of the 12 or 15 that haven't seen us in a long time. People are like, oh yeah, I remember those guys. And they're like, oh wow, I remember that song. Oh, I remember that song.
Right.
Like, because the other 2,000-3,000 that would come to see us anyways, they already know. But it's sort of for the uninitiated, like, hey guys, remember us? And
get
so
reacquainted.
it's yes, exactly. So it's hit, and like just really cool, set list. So it'll be, like a little shorter than you'd get on a headliner show, but it's still going to be a really good set list, So I think
it's Tesla. It's going to be great.
and the energy of those big shows, for me anyways, I love it. And so like I'm okay with the trade-off of a shorter set not being, the headliner, but having 10-15,000 people there, like that is a energy you can't beat that. So I'm all right with trading a couple songs to have that many people. It's going to be fun.
Understood. And then maybe you answered this in what you just said about the set list, but I was going to ask you, since Homage is coming out the start of the tour, is there going to be at least one track included from the album, or no? Or you guys haven't figured it out yet even?
Haven't totally. So we've talked about it. We didn't rehearse anything up when we rehearsed last month. So I don't think it would be in this first leg. If we do it, it would probably be a little later. I don't know. Also, if we're able to do sound checks, it's easy for us to learn a new song. So I could easily say this, and then in like 5 days, we're doing one of the new songs every show. So don't hold me to it. At this point, I think we're going to stick to like classic Tesla songs. But we've talked about possibly doing something from Homage too.
Yeah, and I mean, and the Supertramp song that's included on Homage, you guys have done that together before live, so that might be an easy one to dust off, right?
Yes, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, we did that one and I Love You a bunch this whole past year. It was when we were working on it. We were kind of like rehearsing it by doing it in the shows,
right?
And then recorded it. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, and man, I love that song. That's Give a Little. It's one of my favorite songs. So it's one of my favorite ones on the album too.
Yeah, good. All right, and then I know we got to get wrapping up. So just real quick, I did want to ask you. Because Tesla now 40 years this year since that debut album and everything. And you guys seem like, to me, my perspective, you're working your ass off. You guys are out there constantly pounding away. And so with 40 years in and all the travel and everything that goes with what you guys do for a living, what would you say keeps Tesla inspired after all these years?
Man, the fans, like, we really love doing this. Like, it's so much fun. We get out there, and there's people keep showing up and they keep loving it, and you can feel that energy of people enjoying themselves so much and singing along to these songs that we all grew up with, and the first chord of one of these songs that everyone goes, it's like, what? It's if you can't beat that high, So
right.
I think it's that. I mean, we love playing music, and we love these songs, and we love playing with each other. It's a really great just vibe, and we're so lucky and happy to be able to do it. We'll keep playing as long as people keep coming out.
Nice. All right, and then to bring it home to Homage, when fans hear the album for the first time this Friday, everybody, it's coming out. What do you hope somebody will take away from the album?
Oh man, I just hope they like it, and I hope it's maybe like I said earlier, something a little bit different. Like for people who've got a lot of the Tesla records, like this one's going to be a little bit different just because of the song choice, and again, I hope they are able to really just appreciate Jeff's voice. Like he's really the standout on all these tracks. I mean, he always is because it's Jeff Keith, right? But even more so maybe on this, and just like if you got like all the Tesla records, this is like still very much Tesla, but it's like a little bit of a different shade of color, right? So it's like, oh, that's cool. That's something. That's a new angle to look at that view from. So hopefully they'll enjoy that new view, right?
All right. Well, I agree. All right, cool. All right. So I know I got to let you go, but as we always do here on Radio Bypass, you may not know this, but we always love to perform or play at the end of our conversations something from that artist's new piece of work.
All right.
And oftentimes I like to let the artist choose one. So that's what we're going to do here, Dave. I'm going to play a song from Homage. You pick it.
Man, you know what? Because you just brought it up and reminded me, let's do Give a Little. I love that song.
Give a little? Okay. I just got to write it down so that when I go to do this, I don't forget.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. All right, everybody. We've been talking with Dave Rude from Tesla. Tesla, the band, I guess we have to say now because of the car, but Tesla, the band came first. So Dave Rude from Tesla joining us here today. Thank you so much, Dave, for being here. And everybody, check out Homage. You can pre-order it now. You guys just announced yesterday there's even a extra track if you order it from Target. So there's all kinds of iterations of this record that you can get your hands on. Get it, love it, spin it over and over and over, and go catch these guys with Mötley Crüe and Extreme sometime this summer. They're coming to a city near you, I'm sure. Right, Dave?
Absolutely. We're going everywhere. Thank you so much for having me on, man. It was great talking to you.
Oh, my pleasure, Dave. All right, everybody. Dave Rude, Tesla, new album Homage. Turn this up a little bit louder right now and hear Dave's pick, Give a Little Bit.
Ready. All right. Here we go. Hey, shala, na na, hey. Give a little bit of your love to me. I'll give a little bit, I'll give a little bit of my love to you. There's so much that we need to share, so send a smile and show that you care. I'll give a little bit, I'll give a little bit of my life for you. So give a little bit, give a little bit of your time to me. See the man said we walked a long while. We've come a long way.